That was the voice of one of my favorite boxers of all time. I really enjoy when this man is speaking. Highly intelligent in the ring and outside the ring, and has a way of marketing boxing unlike anybody else who's ever entered the sport of boxing, alongside his partner in success as they built this empire. I don't even know his titles anymore. I don't even think titles really matter. I'm not even sure if you could put a title on exactly what this man has done in his career, in this field of boxing, in the sport of boxing, in this business of boxing. The legendary, the iconic, the one and only Leonard Ellerbe is back.
Glad to be here.
Man,
thank you, guys.
Good to have. Big fight this weekend, huh?
Huge.
Huge.
Biggest and baddest card in all of boxing.
Talk about it. Who we going to see this weekend?
Broner versus Jesse Vargas.
Yes.
We got Charlo versus Centeno. And Mayweather Promotions, Gervonta Davis versus Jesus Cuellar. A great, great card. One of the best cards in boxing in I can't remember.
Yes. And boxing enthusiasts will definitely agree. I want to get your point of view on a lot of these things. First of all, the Charlo brothers are, for so long, we had them on the show how many years ago? 3 years ago? Early on in their career. Well, early on we had them before people start paying attention. Talk about the Charlo brothers and the impact that they're starting to make. It's inevitable that they're going to get the big fights now. People can't avoid them anymore. Talk about how important this fight is.
Two supremely talented brothers. We have one fighting in the 154-pound weight class, and the one who's fighting Saturday night, yes. Jermall. Uh-huh. Very, very exciting young fighters, and they're the future of the sport. Charlo, he has a very tough fight this weekend against Hugo Centeno, and it's a very exciting matchup, and the fans should really enjoy it.
Centeno could really measure up to him, though? Like, really?
Yeah, he's coming off of a big win. Actually, at Barclays last summer against Aleem in a big knockout. It was a highlight reel type knockout. And again, Charlo has his hands full, but he's prepared and ready to go, and it should be a very, very exciting fight.
Leonard Ellerbe is here.
Leonard, for somebody like you that's seen so much, how remarkable is it? We had Martellus Bennett here last week, and he was talking about his time in the NFL and his brother playing in the league. You had the Charlo brothers and watching them come up on the rise together. How remarkable is it for somebody like you when you see one family produce like superior athletes like that?
It's a great thing, especially, where we are in boxing now. It's great to see these young rising stars, who look to get to that next level. And for me, having been there from day one with Floyd to see him conquer the sport and be bigger than the sport.
And come from a family of boxers as well. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it's very exciting. And again, they're going to continue to make a lot of noise in the sport. And I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Dope.
Let's talk about Adrien Broner. Okay, guy who's come up to this show. He's even busted a lot of raps on this show. He's an MC, as we know. I know Floyd came up and kicked a verse, too. I still think Floyd might have edged him off on the verse. I might be Floyd biased, though. But, we've seen Adrien Broner go through a lot of ups and downs, in the ring and out of the ring. This fight right now this isn't going to be a cakewalk for him, correct?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah. Jesse
Vargas is, I call him a young veteran. He's been in there, and he's been in some big-time fights. He's fought Manny Pacquiao. He's fought Timothy Bradley. Yeah. He's fought Saddam Ali. He's a former world champion, and he's coming to bring it.
If Broner, because I think Broner, as talented as he is, I don't think his career has really reached the potential we all thought it might early on. And he's lost a couple big fights, remember when he first lost to Maidana, and then we start saying that he's not invincible. If he loses this fight, does the fight game still take him seriously?
Well, I think he's looking to turn it around, this fight. He's made some changes in his camp, which were great changes. He went down to West Palm Beach, Florida, to have camp under the guidance of Kevin Cunningham, a great coach in the game. And I think that he's turned the corner. He really truly understands that it's a turning point in his career, and it's a must-win fight. And I think he's in the best shape of his life, and he's ready to go. That right there is going to be a great, great fight. Well, Adrian's became successful with being who he is. Yeah. I don't think that any of that will change, but he's definitely going back to the fight, he's definitely in a great fight this weekend, and that's what kind of like the focus needs to be. And I know he's very prepared, and he's got a tough fight on his hands. Jesse Vargas is out of Las Vegas, and he has a huge following back there, and he's Mexican-American, and we know that all the fans are riding with him from that side. It's a terrific matchup, and it's a 50-50 fight. The Vegas odd makers have Jesse a slight favorite. Adrian knows what he's up against, and I think that we will see the best of Adrien Broner this weekend, because he knows his back is against the wall. He knows that a lot of people are against him. Yeah, and I think has motivated.
That's his motivation.
Yeah, he's made some changes in his life and his career, and we'll see what happens on Saturday night.
Even regardless of the result, right after the match, he could shoot to the studio and just do a diss record, right? Gervonta Davis, last fight he had with Fonseca had mixed reactions because of something that took place in regards to what some people viewed as an illegal punch. And this is him talking about after the win. What was his thoughts about it?
9 seconds in round number 8. A referee in charge reaches the count of 10. He is the winner by way of knockout and still undefeated, Gervonta Tank Davis.
Yes, so he was getting booed after this win because of a punch that people thought was illegal. You know the punch I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, sometimes you have mixed reactions, with the fans. But Gervonta Davis, he's the most exciting fighter in the entire sport. He reminds me, not comparing the two, he reminds me of a young Mike Tyson back in the day. Yeah. People they love to see him. He's a big time fighter, and I'll say it, and I'll say it again and again and again. In a few years, Gervonta Davis will be the biggest star in the entire sport, hands down.
What about Lomachenko?
What about him?
What do you mean, what about him?
He can get that work just like anybody else can get that work. We feel as though Gervonta Davis is the best fighter in his division, and he'll continue to prove that. And it starts with this Saturday night. He has an opportunity to become the youngest 2-time world champion in all of boxing, which is a great, great feat within itself. And again, he's looking to put on these electrifying performances. We're going to have a packed house this Saturday night at Barclays Center. There's still tickets available, and they start as low as $50. And again, people are making their way up from the DMV. Yeah. They coming to see Tank.
Yo, he's an incredible boxer. But you can't just dismiss Lomachenko, right?
Why not?
Dying.
He's a terrific young fighter, but
he can get that work. Sway, you heard him.
Anybody can get that work. Anybody can get that work when it comes to Tank.
Are they in the same? How close is their weight?
They're in the same
division.
They're in the same weight class. But the focus obviously is this Saturday night.
Okay.
You can't think. You can't look ahead if you can't get it done if you don't accomplish the task at hand on Saturday night.
But just looking towards the future, so will that Lomachenko fight happen sooner than later? Let's assume Gervonta gets past Saturday night.
Anybody can get it. If he happens to be there, we're going to make the biggest and best fight possible moving forward. But again, the focus, he has a tough task at hand. He's fighting former world champion Jesus Cuellar this Saturday night. And again, it's a big time fight. And Tank is ready. He's prepared. And again, Tank is that guy. He's what this younger generation is looking to see in the sport. He don't play with it when he steps in that ring. Yeah. He's looking to knock your head off. That's why he has 18 big knockouts. Yeah. And again, he's the most exciting fighter in the entire sport.
So y'all won't be running from Lomachenko.
We ain't running from nobody. Anybody can get this work.
Damn.
Okay. All right. Got a couple more questions. I'm going to play back the clip that we started this interview with real quick. Floyd Mayweather, easily regarded as the greatest of all time. 50-0 record. Never before has he been defeated. Had this to say about possibly fighting inside of the octagon.
Is it possible that I come back? Yes, but if I do come back, it has to be in the octagon.
So will you come back as an MMA star or an MMA attempt, and will it be with UFC?
I spoke with my team. I spoke with Al Heyman. Al Heyman says no. But I spoke with Showtime. I spoke with CBS. If we can get together with Dana White and the UFC to make a mega fight happen, one fight, it could be against Conor McGregor. We don't know. But we could do a multi-fight deal. But Showtime and CBS has to be involved if I do a multi-fight MMA deal.
Why? Why would he step inside of that octagon? That's a whole nother discipline altogether. Like, it's as silly as it was for Conor McGregor. I'm not, in boxing match, you got one punch, you can win a match. I get that, and they're all trained fighters. But I never for 1 second believed that Conor McGregor would beat Floyd Mayweather in the boxing ring. Not for 1 second. Mm-hmm. And I feel the same way about Floyd going into an octagon. And the only person somebody want to see him fight is Conor McGregor in the octagon, just because of the years of experience and expertise. Why would he even do it?
Well, we don't know. I mean, he hadn't done anything yet. I mean, there's a lot of talk, and I mean, you heard it from him himself. If that opportunity ever came about, one thing Floyd has been very, very good at is making great sound decisions as it relates to his career. If he chose to do something like that, he's coming to get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a competitor.
Yeah, I get that.
If that opportunity came and he had to make a decision, it's going to be what it's going to be.
Has he been training in mixed martial arts?
No. He's actually just he always keeps himself in shape.
Yeah.
He always keeps himself in shape. He's always in an impeccable condition, but he hasn't started any of that kind of training.
Because they're going to kick for his knees. They're going to kick him in his thighs once he goes in. They're going to grapple him. They're going to try to choke him up and not allow him to have free swing. You see my dad? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hey, let me know if you need another fighter, okay? What would you, as his friend and confidant, what would be your advice? I mean, I know he's a grown man. He's going to make his own decisions, but...
And that's what it would be. It would be definitely a decision if it came about. It came about, it would be a decision that he would make. And he's been very good at making great decisions, as it relates to, he became a billionaire with making great decisions.
Oh, did you hear that?
Billy.
Okay, I got to ask you about this, too. Can anybody want to jump in here real quick before I go?
Anybody can get that smoke.
Okay, 888-742-3345.
Yeah, let me jump in because I know this is going to be unrelated. But is there any, rise in popularity of women's boxing? Because I don't see a spotlight showing on that at all.
Actually, it is. We have a very, very exciting fighter who's fighting on the card. Her name is Heather Hardy. She's she makes for great fights. She's always in action-packed fights. And again, she's right here from New York.
Can you make a lot of money as a female boxer the same way that,
well,
the guys do?
It's a little different because obviously you don't have the bigger the bigger names in the sport. Mayweather Promotions, we have Layla McCarter. Also, she's a terrific former world champion in multiple divisions. Again, women's boxing is on the rise, and again, we're going to continue to promote our young fighters out there in the sport, and again, we fully expect they have the support of Showtime. You see Clarissa Shields out there.
She's nice.
She's a very, very exciting fighter. We have LaTondria Jones. Again, we have Ava Knight. She's a former world champion also too. So women's boxing is definitely on the rise, and this Saturday night, Heather Hardy's going to put on a great, great performance.
That's right. Cool. This Saturday night, April 21st at the Barclays Center. There's still tickets available, and these Mayweather promotions be the best promotions you're going to see in boxing because it's not just a boxing match. It's an entire experience. You can use that, Leonard.
I love it.
Okay, I got a couple more callers, and I want to get your take on Canelo Alvarez. Failed his drug test, tested positive twice. Fell in his drug test and was suspended for what appears to be 6 months now. I know Golden Boy Promotions, I think, made an announcement that his next fight will be in September, perhaps, if they're lucky. But I remember Julio Cesar Chavez tested dirty for weed in his system, and they suspended him for 9 months and fined him $900,000, something to the tune of that. Some people believe that this is kind of light on Canelo, and is there a political undertone to why it's only 6 months, others get punished more than others that you could speak to, or?
Well, I don't have all the details of what actually happened in his case. I just only hear what the media puts, out there. But one thing I do know, the Nevada Athletic State Commission is the best commission in the entire sport. And whatever information they had, they made a decision based upon that. With that being said, it's not a good thing at all. Not a good thing at all. And it's very unfortunate to be a big-time fighter, to come up dirty on any level, because you look for fighters to be on a level playing field.
Yeah.
It's a very dangerous sport, and the last thing you want is someone to attempt to try to have the upper hand in a boxing match.
Yeah. Floyd ever turn up with dirty tests?
Absolutely not.
You said that with a smile. Never happened.
Absolutely not.
Okay, we got people on the line, 888-742-3345. Dante in Pittsburgh. Go ahead, man.
Dante,
say hello to
what's
Leonard Ellerbe.
poppin'? Yo.
Hey, what's up, guys? I just want to call and say I love the show.
Thank you.
But I had a question. The UFC released a statement after Conor McGregor got in this shit that they were going to make a fight happen between Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor with modified MMA rules. That there's no kicking, no takedowns, no elbows. And in my opinion, it would be a boxing match in the cage, which would be a disrespect to mixed martial arts in the UFC. I just wanted to get Leonard's thoughts on that, and if that statement is even true.
Absolutely false. There's never been a conversation of any mixed rules or anything. People, I don't know where some of this stuff comes from. Just absolutely false.
You satisfied with that, Dante?
I am. I was curious as well, if there is an MMA fight, is he going to be training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and everything else, and this would be a legitimate fight if that's on his radar? You know what I mean? Is this going to be a cage fight?
What fight?
Fair enough.
Okay.
He knew he couldn't say nothing.
Dante, you're a citizen,
That's
man.
Sway in the morning.
Man, you know what? I love what you guys do, man. I really do, man. I claim TMT all the time, man, and I don't even have a jacket.
Okay, we got to do something about
We
that.
got to do something about that. But Leonard Ellerbe, man, honestly, I don't know if you've done it yet, but I would love to see speaking seminars, man, to watch you walk around the country and the people pay money to see you speak.
Thank you. I've done quite a bit of that thus far, and look to continue to do more of it. Tune in.
Okay.
Showtime this Saturday night, 6 p.m.
Eastern, right?
No, Pacific.
Pacific, okay.
9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Must-see fights.
Yes.
Broner versus Vargas.
Oh, that's a humdinger.
Charlo versus Centena.
That's a banger.
Gervonta Davis versus Jesus Sway Calloway.
That's going to be a tidal wave.
Can't miss.
I'll be watching it.
Tune in.
That's right. I'm flying in the Bay. I'm going to be watching in the Bay. And then I got to get tickets for my homie, my boxing homie. Every time I'm there, I'm with my homie Horse, and I got to get a pair of tickets for Horse. Is that okay?
Cool.
All right, there it is. You got it from Leonard Ellerbe, man. Brother, always good to see you, man.
Thank you for having me on.
Tell my homie Floyd I said what up.
Most definitely.
Until I see him on all those vacations, man. He ain't never sent me the invite.
He going to Dubai real soon. So
Okay.
He just called me this morning and asked me that I want to go.
Oh, he didn't call me.
You changed your numbers, right?
I did change it. All right, cool. I got to get it to him. All right, man. Leonard, thank you for coming through, brother. Always
Thank
a
you.
pleasure.
Thank
all right?
you, family.
Sway in the morning, Shade 4-5.